Hey everybody, Vicki Fitch here, your direct sales expert. We are coming to you live from sunny Southern California. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you guys have not seen the show yet, we have started a new show, Step Out, Step Up, Stand Out, and Speak, right? And we need to stop being silent. It's an opportunity for us, each and every one of us, to have a voice and identify where it is that we want to, where we want to come out, what we want to say, and what we want to do. And I would like you to put a one in the chat box if you've been one of the people that have been a little hesitant to say what you think because you're afraid of getting lambasted. You're afraid of getting, hey, Mel, welcome to the broadcast. You're afraid of people saying, hey, I don't like you, or I don't, calling you a racist or calling you names because you ask a question or you identify like, are we not all wanting to know? Don't we all want to know something? I mean, if you've ever been afraid, because I have been, and I'm going to pull up. Sorry, I'm going to try and pull up Periscope really quick because that's the only way I can see their that they're actually in the broadcasts. And I apologize, I forgot to put that in there for a second. So, anyway, so let's talk about it. Actually, it's giving me a hard time. Like yesterday, if you guys don't know, I lost my phone. Well, I didn't lose my phone. My phone crashed a couple of days ago and would not allow me to do anything. So those of you on Periscope, I'm sorry I won't be able to see the stuff as it comes in. You'll have to put your chat in there. I think Melanie's actually on Periscope. So put your chat in there. I can't see you to say hello when you pop into the room, but I can if you put a comment in there. And those of you guys are on Facebook and Twitter, we are on 7 different platforms. So please put your name in the chat so I can say hello. If you're inside a group, or someone started a watch party, the watch party, I can't see your comments. You'll have to actually come to one of my areas. Hey, Melanie, welcome to the broadcast. You'll have to come to the actual broadcast that I have. But if you are if you're in a group, I won't see your name. I'll see your comments, but I won't know who you are unless you've actually allowed Facebook to read that. And there's some instructions I think that come with it. So anyway, here we are. Hello, how are you? It's so good to see you, my friend. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit the share button, because this conversation is certainly things that people need to hear. They might be afraid to participate in it. But they want to hear it because many people want to watch because they're afraid it's going to be a train wreck and they just want to watch a train wreck go. But that's not what this is about. We want to have a conversation, and it's a tough one to have because there are so many people that are so heightened that they cannot possibly see two sides of the street. And we need to make sure that we can see both sides of the street. We need to make sure that everybody has a voice. And that's what this show is about. So today's topic is, can you really be colorblind? And colorblind, I don't mean physically, because my kids are both colorblind. And so is my dad was colorblind. My brother's colorblind. So physical colorblindness, we know, can happen, right? It's an actual fact. But people are suggesting nowadays that you can't be colorblind to what's going on. Hey, Darren, welcome to the broadcast. Yes, an ocular inability to see colors, definitely. But we're talking about a different kind, right? We're talking about ones where we don't see people as color, we see them as people. Martin Luther King talked about that we need to work on seeing everybody by the character, not by the color of their skin, but by the character that they portray and who they really are as people. So, you could also have some brain damage and not see colors. Gotcha, Darren. We're not talking about that kind, but thank you so much. Lorenzo, it keeps freezing up. Maybe you can come over to Facebook, sweetie. I don't know why Periscope, is it freezing up for you too, Mel? Anyway, again, thanks for being here. So we're going to be talking about that. Can you really be colorblind? People have been asking this question lately because it's been a hot topic about there's white privilege and these different things. And I have to be honest with you, we'll talk about those at another time, because we don't want to create too many different discussions or different angles that we go on. But people want to know if you can really see people as people. Now, somebody asked me the other day about, and we talked about this yesterday, about if you were walking down the street and there's a black person and a white person on each side of the street, are you going to gravitate toward the white person's side? And I said, no, it has nothing to do with the color of their skin. It has to do with the way they're acting. If the black person is standing up straight and looking confident, and the white person's going, kind of walking like a gangbanger and it's got their shoulders hunched, or they got those mannerisms going on, I'm going to gravitate toward the person that I don't feel threatened by. And so it's got nothing to do with the color of their skin. And so as we start talking about this, you start getting attacked by other people. Oh, you this and you white privilege, you have no idea. And I don't know what it is that sometimes that people are suggesting we don't have any idea about. Do we have no idea about being scared? I mean, I'm not talking about some of the actual areas where there's been, a serious conflict, but I have friends that are all colors, all races, all genders, I mean, I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care about those other things. I care about your character. I care about how you make other people feel when they're around you. I care that you care about other people's feelings and it's not all about you. Your skin color doesn't matter. Put a 2 in the chat box if you get where I'm coming from, right? It doesn't matter. I don't care. And so a friend of mine, who's Black, Jim, had actually asked something. This is maybe a month ago on his page. And he's like, he asked a question and someone, about his white friends. He wanted to know if his white friends thought this certain show was a certain way and whatever. And then this person started lambasting him for, talking about his white friends. Why can't you talk about your Black friends? Or why can't you just talk about friends? And his point was, I was just trying to get a consensus of people that are a different skin color and how they felt about this. And that's a valid thing. Why should we be afraid to ask questions of our friends and to see if there is a difference? Do people see things differently? My team is mostly in the Philippines, and I ask them all the time, do you guys do this? Or is this something that's normal there? Or what kind of foods do you eat? Or that that's not being racist or prejudicial. It's being inquisitive and curious so we can connect the dots and build the bridges. And so, as I started asking questions about this, why? Then somebody said, well, how many Black friends do you have? And I had to stop and think, I don't know. I don't think of my friends as this group is Black and this group is Asian and this group is white. I don't think of people that way. And so it took me a long time. I had to think, and they're like, oh, so you don't have any Black friends. It's no, I have a lot of Black friends as it turns out, but I don't think of them in categories. Is this making sense to you guys? I don't think of people in categories. I think of them as people. If I'm categorizing, it's more in like I did in Evict the Bully in Your Head, right? You've got the intimacy bubbles and you got your friendly friends, you got your close friends, but it has nothing to do with the color of their skin. So I believe in that particular regard, I am colorblind. I don't look at you when I meet someone. I don't think, oh, that's a Black person. Oh, that's an Asian person. Oh, that's a, Indian person. I don't think of you by a nationality or a skin color. And so I'm wondering why it is that we're so afraid to say that, right? But we're afraid because when we do, people attack us and call us white privilege. Like I don't know how an Indian or, a Hispanic person, I don't know how they would feel having this same conversation, but I know for me, most of my friends are afraid to participate in this conversation because they don't want to be labeled a racist and they don't want to even have the conversation. They don't want to open up the door for someone to call them a racist. But is it, I mean, is that what we really want though? Is we want to be so afraid to open up a conversation because we're going to be attacked instead of have the conversation and saying, why should I be afraid of being attacked? If you're attacking me, that's something that's going on your side of the fence, not mine. Because I really don't care what color your skin is. And like I said, I don't care. I care about people and people are people. Your attitude and your demeanor are what helps me decide whether or not I want to spend time with you, but it's got zero, can I say it again? Zero to do with the color of your skin. And so I think we have to step up and stand out and speak and say, it's not right that we're so afraid of being judged and being put into a category that we refuse to even participate because of that fear. Let's see if you guys have any questions. Melanie says it makes sense to her. Lorenzo says racist is who makes it first to the bathroom. Okay, Lorenzo. So that's what I wanted. Like I said, I wanted to address. Somebody messaged me and said they're having trouble on Facebook. that I don't know if the Facebook comments aren't coming or if it didn't post. So they came over to Periscope because they were looking for me. So if that's the truth, maybe you guys are catching the replay. I apologize. I don't know why it wouldn't have gone, but let's like I said, I'd love to have a conversation with you guys about it. I'll keep it short because I was a little bit late getting on today. But do you feel some of those fears? Do you fear having a or participating when someone brings in anything that has to do with race, religion, sexual orientation, politics, because you might get attacked by other people? So, if if you have that fear, then we need to come up with a way, like I said, and that's why I started the show, is that we need to come up with a way to voice it and say, "Hey, I do have questions." I asked somebody and I never saw the answer, so I don't know if it, just got buried in things, but I asked somebody, a friend of mine who's half black and half white, and I asked her during this whole thing that was going on with the riot started and people, being really angry and like there's a lot of racial tension going on, and they're yanking all these movies off of Netflix and stuff, which I think are ridiculous because I think history is what tells us, if we have time periods, we need to know what the times were like. We can't pretend that those things didn't happen and rewrite history. Gone with the Wind is one of my favorite movies. It has nothing to do with because there were slaves. Somebody said, "Oh, because you want the slaves to come back." It's like, no, I'm a hopeless romantic, and I love the fact that Scarlett O'Hara happens to be this strong personality, and she makes some really stupid decisions, and chasing after someone who's not chasing after her when she's got someone that's wonderful that's right there that wants to support her and be with her. But it's that hopeless romantic in me. It has nothing to do with the fact that there were slaves. That's just part of the time period. It is what it is. I don't find it offensive that it was then. I would find it offensive if I went to a party and someone had slaves, not people that were serving, because that can be any color or creed. Somebody was getting paid for the work that they chose to do, but a servant, a slave, I would have a problem with. I wouldn't participate in that, but it's not the same thing. I see there's some other comments here. Latanya says, because if you don't see color and different, then you don't see me, because we are different and we have different interests. Latanya, we do have different interests, but why do I have to see you as a color instead of just a person that has different interests than me? I mean, why do I have to see your color? And I don't mean that, like I said, in any derogatory fashion. I'm happy to have this conversation. I have lots of black friends. Like I said, somebody asked me to make a list and I couldn't at first because it's like I had to try and categorize the people in my life by their color, and it was really difficult because I don't see people that way. But I can see your color of your skin. I can even be envious of the beautiful tones of your skin. But I'm not, but I do see you. I see you as a person. I don't see you as a color. Just like I don't see blondes versus redheads versus brunettes. I just see you as a person, and your demeanor and the way we connect is what inspires me. Melanie says, do they consider racist? That's what I was asking her. Because I don't think in schools these days that people understand, that the kids really understand slavery. My kids didn't grow up with racism. The schools they went to and stuff, they're really, there was different kids there, but there was no, except for Elijah. Elijah actually was the only white kid at a school that he went to, and they were kind of racist towards him, and it was really sad. It was hurtful. As he's growing up, trying to understand why they can call him things like cracker, and yet he's not allowed to say other things. Not that he was wanting to, he's just trying to understand. He has Asperger's, and he was trying to understand why are the rules different when he's very concrete, literal. So I asked her that, is roots a good, is that considered bad etiquette to show your kids roots so they would understand, what slavery was? Because I thought that was, I remember bawling my eyes out when I saw Roots the first time. I was like, I didn't know, teachers didn't teach you that in school. You can read books, but when you see it like that, it's really impactful. And so that's what I asked her, but I never quite got the answer. Let's see. Latanya said, and be willing to embrace different culture. Are you asking me a question, that Latanya? I'm definitely willing to embrace different cultures. I don't know what that part meant because I think sometimes we are on 7 platforms, guys. I think sometimes, people are continuing a thought and then as I talk and then read other ones. So help me understand that one, Latanya. Dale said, saying hi to Melanie. You do see color because you keep saying you have black friends instead of friends. Well, only because that's the conversation today, Latanya. I think you missed the beginning is that when someone asked me about that, I couldn't think and they started kind of attacking me and go, see, you don't have any black friends. And I said, it was hard for me to think because then I had to all of a sudden categorize my friends and I don't think of them that way. So it took me longer to scan through my friends and figure out, I mean, it's weird to me. Like I said, it was such a foreign idea, a foreign thought. Just like if somebody asked me to name all my blonde friends, it would take me time. So it has nothing to do with that, but I understand you came in later, so you might not have known that. Let's see. Do you say, I think you missed the conversation because we actually talked about that. The people asking me specifically, do you have any black friends? Lorenzo said the first black slave owner in America was a black man and even went to court to demand his rights. I did not know that, Lorenzo. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm actually starting to study some of those things because I am interested in that history. Softy to movies, totally, Dale. I am absolute romantic, hardcore romantic, and definitely that's the truth. So anyway, so that's what we're talking about today is that, can we help people understand us? And if you do, and this is probably even trickier because I don't know that anyone's comfortable admitting this. If maybe you grew up with racism and so you did have some in your maybe you do look with a little bit of fear or a little bit of animosity. I don't know. I didn't grow up that way, and like I said, my kids didn't grow up that way, and we don't think that way. Doesn't mean that there isn't any, in the world and the United States. But what it does mean is that if we have conversations and then identify that that people are trying to pigeonhole, like even with Latanya coming in late, so her automatic, I don't want to. I'm not sure what the right word is, but her automatic instinct kind of was like, "Well, you're talking about black friends." Well, that's only because someone asked. And again, when you miss the beginning, sometimes things can get taken out of context, but we should still be able to have a conversation about it and say, "Okay, so where did that come from?" And to trust that people that are asking questions, like our first inclination should be to trust that they're asking for a good reason. Now, watching their demeanor and behavior, and if they start going, stuff like this, body language tells us a lot. And that's why we talked about yesterday, the question, which again, Latanya, I don't think you were here yesterday. You caught the replay, but somebody had asked, well, if you see a black person and a white person walking down the street, which side of the street are you going to gravitate towards? And I told them it has nothing to do with the color of your skin, because I'm not even going to know what color your skin is when I make my determination of which side of the street I feel threatened on. It's your body language, it's your demeanor, kind of this kind of, shoulder slouching. And it doesn't mean that's a bad person, but that behavior would make me feel more uncomfortable than somebody walking down the street with their shoulders up. And so and it's okay for us to recognize that, like I said, I wouldn't be able to tell what color your skin was. I would be, aware of the behavior and the body language and the movement, because that tells us a lot about people. It doesn't tell us about their internal workings, but it tells us about where they're at that particular moment. Let's see. CJ says, I think everyone has some color blindness. Is that what you mean? Or you mean prejudice? For me, if you treat me with respect and kindness, I think I am. You think you are what, CJ? Help me. You think you are colorblind? Like you don't see color? Because like I said, it's not that we don't see the differences in people's skin color, but it's not an indication of who they are as people. I'm colorblind. I can't see red. There you go. So Red Degley says she's literally colorblind. We talked about that in the beginning too, a literal colorblindness versus this type of colorblindness, like a prejudicial colorblindness. I was asked to apologize for the color of my skin, so I reversed on her and I said, sorry for your level of IQ. Well, Dale, and I don't know what race you are, what color you are, Dale, but yeah, I'm never going to apologize for the color of my skin. I am who I am. I am who God made me. And so that's who I am. And so I'm not going to ever apologize for that. but I would never expect anyone else to apologize for the color of their skin either. I mean, that's lunacy. Why would we apologize for the way we were born? It's like asking someone to apologize for a birthmark or apologize for being a redhead, or I mean, it's nonsense. But somehow people have, because it's become such a divisive thing, that people are using it as a catalyst. And if you don't know how to answer the questions properly, or how to redirect the conversation so it's back to the original topic, then people can really derail it and make other people feel uncomfortable, which is why they're avoiding the topics altogether. It's more about actions than color. Absolutely, CJ. That's exactly what I was saying. It's the demeanor of the person. If there's a black man walking down the street with a suit on and his shoulders up, or his jeans, or it doesn't matter. He can wear anything, and he's got his shoulders up and he's smiling. That makes me not feel threatened. Now, that doesn't mean they're not a bad person, no matter what color they are. I mean, let's face it. There's been some very charismatic bad people in the world, including Hitler. So it doesn't mean that person's bad. It means that your radar detection of what things make you feel uncomfortable is toned down a lot if someone is smiling and looks confident. It's not an indicator of whether or not a good person. But again, for me, it has nothing to do with skin color. Dale says you're Cherokee. Gotcha. Oh, they wanted you to apologize for being Cherokee, for being Indian. So again, why? And where do people get those ideas? Right? I think the media has got a lot to do with that, because I mean, even growing up, I've never ever heard people trying to tell people to apologize for the color of their skin before. I mean, it's just never come up, no matter what nationality. Now, were some people criticized or harassed or bullied and stuff when we were kids? Yeah. And that's one of the things about me. If you ask anybody I went to high school with, or junior high, even probably even grade school, is that I was the great defender. It didn't matter who you were or what you were. If you were being picked on and I saw it, I would stand up. That's just who I was. That what God put in my heart to be that defender of people. And it backfired. Sometimes people would then stab you in the back, but it didn't matter. That's who I was. And we need to be who we are. We need to not apologize for our features and attributes. If we make a mistake, if we act disrespectful, rude, or say something that's insensitive, we should apologize, even if we didn't mean to hurt someone. Like, my son, as I mentioned before, has Asperger's, and we've had conversations before where I'd say something that wouldn't offend any of you. It wouldn't, a person that processed information in an average way, wouldn't be offended. And yet he got angry about it because for him, it hurt his feelings, or he felt like it was wrong. He's very concrete, literal. And so he can also be offended by if you say, yeah, I'll take you for ice cream afternoon. And then at 12:01, he has an expectation that you're leaving, when as a generality between 12 and 5:30 could be afternoon. So it's people process information differently. And it's, in the first two books I wrote, Direct Selling 101 and Evict the Bully in Your Head, we talk about filters. We all have a filter that has gotten dirty and marred and stuff by our experiences, whether it's from people being unkind, or media, or family members, or neighbors that are rude or disrespectful. We all start getting our own filter in it, and all gets muddied up by our personal experiences. And sometimes we have to clean that filter off and recognize that other people are either they're coming from their own filter, and that they don't always mean things the way we're receiving them. And when we ask really good questions, like, what did you mean by that? Then we can dive a little deeper, and we can create relationships that are based on mutual respect and trust. I asked her if she likes handcuffs, which I carry next to my badge. Gotta love plain clothes. I hear you, Dale. So you're a plainclothes Cherokee cop. Are you on the reservation? Are you part of the general? I don't know what the differentiation is, but I know the reservation has their own police force. Are you on a police force outside the reservation or on the reservation? I think she peed and walked away. You're in New Jersey? I don't know if there's reservations in New Jersey, but let me know about that. So do you guys have any other questions or comments or feedback? Like I said, I think if we can continue to open the doors of conversation, then we can build communities without allowing like I said, other people to taint what we truly believe or to attack our beliefs or to start making us feel like we should apologize. If I say something insulting, I want to apologize. Even if I didn't mean it to insult you. Like with my son, I'll say, you know what? I'm sorry that it wasn't clear that I didn't mean at 12:01. I apologize for that hurting your feelings. This is what I meant, and I'll try and be clearer next time. I didn't make a mistake, but I didn't make it clear to him and it frustrated him. So I can apologize for his frustration, even if I didn't do it on purpose. That's what maturity is about, is being able to be sorry for something that wasn't your fault without being sorry for who you are. Without you can recognize the difference and just be the bigger person. Um, Zach Attack says yes. And Dale says, guess that's why duct tape was invented. I'm not sure what that means, Dale, but I don't know where that part is coming from. Yeah, okay, just joking. So anyway, guys, I will wrap this up. I hope you found this helpful. If you haven't hit the share button yet, I hope you will. And if you are not currently following me, I hope you'll hit the follow button. We are live streaming on 7 different platforms today. And like I said, I know there's a lot of people lurking that are afraid to make comments, and I totally respect that. It's challenging because you don't want other people to judge what you've done or said. But I think it's time that we have to stand up. We have to step up, stand out, and speak. We have to stop being silent. It's okay for us to be who we are. We should not feel shame for who we are as people. If we've made bad decisions, we need to correct them. We need to apologize for them, own up to them, and correct them. We shouldn't be apologizing, owning up, and correcting mistakes that we didn't made. And I know that's another topic we'll have to talk about. But for instance, the reparations for slavery, when people are walking down the street saying you need to apologize to Black people. I didn't have any slaves. I don't know if my ancestors had slaves, but I don't think I need to apologize for someone I'm not. I don't have to apologize for my parents, grandparents, great grandparents. I have to be me. I have to take responsibility for me. I have to work on coaching, training, and helping my kids to understand how to be the best version of them. But I'm not going to apologize for other people's past. It doesn't make sense. It does not, that's not logical. I'm not responsible for things that happened before I got here. I'm responsible for what I do today. I'm responsible for how I act and what I do and don't say now. I'm responsible for me as a Christian. I am responsible to God to to use the voice he gave me. The Bible says, to whom much is given, much will be required. And I believe that he's required me to use my ability to articulate things and to have conversations in a way that will help other people either be able to articulate their opinion better so they can feel confident when they're delivering it, or to just open doors where people don't have to feel uncomfortable. Like, you didn't all agree with me necessarily in here. And I don't know if what was your name? Was it Latanya? I don't know if Latanya is still here, if she agrees or disagrees, but we started in the conversation. I explained the things that she might have not understood because she wasn't here in the beginning. And we can still, like I said, we can still agree or disagree, but we don't have to fight. We don't have to call each other names and start identifying people as racist and slamming them. We need to just have good conversations. Let's see. Thank you for broadcasting. You rock so much. Respect. Thank you so much, Dale. Appreciate it. Most of them were not even born or even thought of. Yeah, it's true. But again, where are they getting this thought from? Someone's bringing it up. I mean, it never would occur to me to think about stuff from the past, like someone else's generation, to fix something in the current generation. But we do need to, like I said, acknowledge it and be aware of it, and then have a conversation about it, not sweep it under the rug and pretend it isn't there, because that's just going to make things fester and give people that are trying to sow a seed of discontent an avenue to pour bacteria into a wound so it continues to fester and makes it worse. And I think that's what's happened with some of what's gone on. I know people that have kind of gone off the deep end. They never felt this was a problem before, and now they're focusing their time and attention on it because that's all they hear from their peers and from the media and things. Oh, this is where I'm supposed to feel. I'm supposed to be angry about this. I'm supposed to be angry at white people. I'm supposed to be angry at, different colored piece of people. I'm supposed to be angry at different genders. And that's not the truth. The truth is we need to be who we are And we're supposed to accept people for who they are. That doesn't mean you have to spend time around them if you feel like that you're not comfortable. But usually the comfort has nothing to do with skin color. It has to do with their demeanor and their body language. Anyway, thank you, Dale. I really appreciate it. Brainwashing them the wrong way of history. I think some people are kind of getting brainwashed, and that's because it's like when you keep hearing the same thing over and over and over again, it does tend to affect you, whether it's accurate or inaccurate information. So, thank you. I hope, again, if you haven't hit the follow button or the live notification button, please do. If you haven't shared it out, please do that as well. I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message and let me know if you want to participate. And if you guys are in that, if you guys haven't seen the Do You Neo show, I am here every day at 11:30 a.m. And on a Thursdays, we do the Do You Neo, Need Extra Opportunities. And I bring opportunities for you guys to make money. I bring different guests on that tell you how to make money and how to get out of debt, how to fix your credit so you can, start kind of excelling, because this time can be really tricky for people. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. And until next time, I want to remind you, like I always do, to dream it, believe it, and achieve it. Ciao. I'll see you guys tomorrow.